Hey, are you busy? There's been a development with the attempted buyout, and we may need your help.
I don't know
Please swing by
why
my
it
office as soon as you
automatically sets my default input as something stupid every single time. I don't know. And I just set it as my default, so I don't know what's going on. So what's going on, guys? We're gonna play a little GTA, a little hangout. See what you guys are up to. How you guys doing today? If you want to play along, where's my? There we go. If you want to play along, the link is in the chat. It's also in the description, top of the description. How to join the crew, and then you can join. If you grief, better make it good because I'm gonna ban you. And I'm just gonna laugh. I'm probably gonna think it's hilarious. Oop. Probably just gonna think it's hilarious. You play GTA long enough, you start enjoying getting griefed. If you don't, you'll just rage quit. By the way, I need to check. Did RFK get confirmed? Did he get confirmed? Oh. One little too north. News. So yeah, I guess he's not confirmed. I guess he's still getting grilled. Still getting grilled. Oh, there we go. So we'll just we'll do Cayo Perico. See what's going on with Cayo Perico. I'd like to know what's going on with that. I have some issues with RFK. I have a lot of problems with a lot of what's going on with the Trump administration, but so far, it's actually going a lot better in this last term. It seems like his last term, he was kind of getting his bearings. He didn't know what he was doing. I don't even think he was ready. I really don't think he was expecting to win, and he did. And then he just kind of went in kind of haphazardly and not knowing what to do because the public sector is such a different monster than the private sector. Didn't fire a lot of Obama holdovers. Didn't fire people that he should have been firing. Didn't know who to put in. Now it seems like he kind of knows what he's doing. He's kind of getting a fresh start. For better or for worse. And I think that RFK is a bad choice. But in a lot of respects, better than what we were having. Oh, where are we going? Oh, Polito. We're going over here. There we go. I think the only one of these I don't like is Zancudo. Zancudo kind of, it either puts you like way too north or way too south of the thing, and you got to travel for a bit. It's still faster to do it this way. So I really don't like how. But I gotta blame Biden. I gotta blame Biden and the Biden administration for how they handled COVID. and the media, basically the entire establishment, how they handled COVID. They kind of set this precedent that like you're not supposed to question this vaccine at all, and then started comparing them to the sort of like Jenny McCarthy kind of anti-vaxxers, and then so everybody was like, "Wow, this COVID vaccine wasn't what we were promised," and you were comparing me to these awful people. So apparently, these awful people are good. No. If I get tequila again, I'm gonna be pissed. I've been getting really bad Kyle Pico runs. I've been tequila and like cash. There was one that was like pretty much barren. I had to go to every little platform on the airstrip in order to get stuff. And because of the fact that everybody was trying to make that very spurious connection between like COVID vaccine skeptics and all vaccine skeptics, skeptics. Since they all kind of lumped them all together, that kind of gave legitimacy to like actual, vaccine deniers. And because of that, RFK became a rock star. He was just a crank. But yeah. What's up, Crode? I hope I'm saying that right. I'm just saying Crode. I don't even know if you probably put any thought into your name, just like whatever. What's up, Crode? He's doing Kyle Perico talking about RFK. But yeah, and I kind of agree with a lot of the sentiment that RFK has in terms of like making America healthy again and getting rid of all that, the food pyramid and all that stuff. I think all that stuff's great. I don't know if he wants to do it by force because he's a Democrat and his kind of ilk are the kind of like, let's ban large sodas and stuff like that. But at the same time, the food pyramid just needs to go. The food pyramid was just a giant experiment. Okay, Rod. Oh, it's kind of like a radio station. KROD 7435, playing all the hits all the time. This is KROD 74.35. We play the songs that sound more like everyone else than anyone else. So yeah, that's kind of like one of my problems with him is that this, not just the skeptics, but like he's also very anti-GMO, which I am a huge fan of GMOs. The amount of testing that GMOs need to go through is like insane, and there's only like a handful that gets done, and people just kind of keep jumping around to like what's bad about them. And I think the big two that people have a problem with is the Roundup Ready stuff, which I think that one's probably the most plausible in terms of like it's possible this stuff could be banned for you, but there's not any evidence that like the Roundup that's left over on food is gonna harm you in any way. Like, sure, if you drink a glass of it, it's gonna be fucking terrible for you, right? If you drink most anything that like most people will, a glass of something like that most people would take as medicine or even in small doses that everybody would agree is safe, would fucking kill you. Like if you just take a glass full of aspirin, it's gonna fucking kill you. Have I seen? Yeah, of course I've seen Menace Wave. I like Menace Wave. I'm gonna preface this by saying like I enjoy his content and I listen to it in audio form. I really don't like. It's almost very reminiscent of a rant Sona. I don't like the style. I do like the synthwave style, but the Ransona thing I really don't like. But I listen to him as a podcast, and that's great. Just play one of his videos, pop a pop a thing in my ear and do it. I don't know why people still do the Ransona thing. I really hate it. Yeah, but he's great. But I do think that, like, I could be wrong. I think he's kind of more in like the Austro-libertarian kind of realm. But he doesn't annoy me with like, oh, let's talk about whether or not this violates the NAP. Which I did a radio show, a podcast that turned into an actual radio show that was on like 30. I think at its height was like 36 stations. And one of the kind of jokes that we used to do every once in a while was like, oh, something happened in the news today. Does this violate the non-aggression principle? It's like a common thing of libertarian media at the time. It's since kind of died off. That whole trope was so annoying. Because there's not really much to talk about if you're going to talk about the NAP. So I'm glad he doesn't do that. He kind of keeps things a little bit topical. A lot of new stuff. I was just watching one of his videos today about Trump derangement syndrome. I didn't finish it because I was getting ready for this stream today. Oh, I didn't realize the guard wasn't there. All right, cool. We can just pop on over this way. Yeah, but he's great. I like him. I think my favorite ANCAP YouTuber has not been making YouTube content. He's been writing a lot of articles and stuff. All right, it's going to be upstairs. That's Danny Duchamp. And it's not because I agree with most everything he says. He just seems to be more of the type of libertarian than I am, the kind of more consequentialist, Chicago-leaning, neoclassical-leaning type stuff. But still ANCAP, which we're a rare breed. Very rare breed. Yes. So, guys, we're going to find out whether or not it violates the non-aggression principle to steal expensive tequila from a drug cartel. Stay tuned. Yeah, this is going to work. Is that one? Yeah, that is one. I keep forgetting which symbol was one. This is algebra. I'm not going to talk about Liquid Zulu. If you want me to talk about Liquid Zulu, ask me in private. I'm not going to. No. Oops, wrong app. I have big issues with him. I have him blocked, actually. All right, stop giving me tequila. Oh, it's got fucking tequila again. Tequila again. It's like the fourth time in a row. Oh. Yeah, tequila is the worst, the lowest paying primary objective in this heist. And it just keeps giving me tequila, and I hate it. I hate it. I have not seen a pink diamond in quite a while. Weird about, I will say this. It's not a knock against him, but for some reason, he always thought that I was like a computer programmer. And he would always respond to me with like computer programming stuff, and I'm like, huh? Which I kind of know like very basic fundamental stuff about programming because it was something I was kind of interested in, and I quickly realized that it's not something I can do. ADD just does not allow me to do it. Messing around with it, yeah, I can totally mess around with it, and I have messed around with it. But as like a profession or as even as a hobby, just my brain does not work in programming. Sorry, it just does not.
Marijuana, easy to sell. I will mark on location planning screen.
What? Why does it keep doing that? It's so annoying.
That's on your planning screen now.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be another shitty heist again. Oh no, is it? What? That's Coca-Cola. That's Coca-Cola. We're good. I can't say what this actually is, and YouTube will have a hissy fit.
Mark this spot on the screen. Location noted.
But it is a drug that sounds a lot like Coca-Cola. I will say that. And the green stuff. Yeah, I don't know why YouTube has been on that lately. Just uh-oh, we can't get in the plane. Can't get in the plane. Let's do that then. Yeah, yeah, he always used to do that, and I used to be like, "What are you talking about?" Or like, I remember there was something that came up about Bipcot because I had put a poll out or something, and I said like, if I do other content, should I just use Creative Commons that everybody knows, or should I go back to Bipcot? But you don't know what Bipcot was. Bipcot was Michael W. Dean's no government copyright license that says that anybody can use and share your stuff unless you're an agent of the state. And if you're an agent of the state, you can't use it. And the punishment is we get to make fun of you. And there was a couple times where we had to make fun of someone because someone like there was some. Cause I think we were making fun of like Hillary Clinton or something, and someone used a segment to whatever. I think he was like a cop or something. He was like a MAGA cop or something, and so we were like, per the conditions, we get to make fun of you, and so we did. But yeah, he brought it up, and it was attached to some coding language or something. I don't remember. This is how little I know about it. I was just like, huh? And he was like it's talking about some kind of GPL or something, and I'm like, huh? What? So I'm like, why do you keep asking me these questions about programming? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. You're speaking alien to me. Like, I learned a little bit of Python. That was about it. Like I don't know what you're saying. I think it may have mentioned somewhere that I was interested in programming, or I had something open, or I think I mentioned Emacs to somebody. Someone was asking me about like that stuff, and I was like, "Oh, I know a guy who programs and he uses Emacs." I know I've talked about that, but that was about it. By the way, if you want like a guide on how to do Cayo Perico, if you go on my Twitch channel, which I don't really use much, I made a little guide, and I made it for someone who I know who was just starting to get into Grand Theft Auto. And I made like a little handy dandy guide on how I do it. In the case that he wants to do it solo. But I kind of walk you through the whole thing. I think I ended up doing it in less than an hour. Even I messed up one of the heists. Let's hope I don't mess any of these up. Yeah, I messed up one of the heists, and at one point, and a lot of points, I stop and talk and describe like what I'm doing and why I'm making decisions I'm making. It's had a pretty good time. I was kind of impressed. I was like, wow, even with all the stops and breaks and everything, I still did it in under an hour. Cayo Perico is by far the best way to make money in this game. Not that it's going to matter anyway, because we're getting Grand Theft Auto 6, and when Grand Theft Auto 6, there's going to be a lot of Grand Theft Auto content here, because I'm basically going to do a whole bunch of, like, playthroughs. And you can see how much I suck. At modern first single player Grand Theft Auto games. By the way, in case you're wondering why I'm doing things like jumping off of stuff and killing myself or jumping out of planes, a lot of it's just like cutting down time. If I blow up my helicopter,
Sometimes, Captain, I think you are more planned ahead than
then
me.
it starts a timer so when I can call it again,
It will need
rather than just setting it lightly down and leaving it and then having to send it back to my moon pole and then wait for the cooldown. Just blow it up now, start the timer so I can get going. If I jump off the antenna or get caught on the Cayo Perico thing, it's just gonna send me right back to the airstrip, and that's where I needed to be. So, perfect. So, if you see me doing things that looks like I'm intentionally fucking up, I'm intentionally doing it. If I'm not intentionally doing it, I'll say, oh shit. I don't have a poker face. I don't have a good poker face. Let me get over to this area and then I'll check up on chat. Oh, hope they don't pop my tires. No, we're good. Just need to get over here on this train track. Oh shit, that's exactly what I didn't want to happen. God damn it. But this cop keeps pulling up to me and shooting me, so I had to move. Say bad poker face. Horrible poker face. Alright, let me go park on this bridge over here and then catch up on chat while we wait for the stars to go away. There is actually a quicker way of getting rid of the cops, but I'd rather check chat. And that's just to get out and blow yourself up with a grenade. Let's see. She's gonna have to hold back and launch. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna delay it again because it's already been delayed a couple of times. Rockstar has. It seems like what they're doing now is once they're pretty damn sure that the game is done and they're just doing final touches, that's when they're going to start releasing release dates for stuff. And until then, anytime that it gets delayed, it's going to get delayed internally before they even announce when it's coming out. Because I don't know if. I think GTA 4 was delayed a few times, and then GTA 5 was delayed a couple of times, and there was like a really big delay after the big trailer dropped, and then they had to delay it again, so everyone was really mad. So I think they're trying to cut down on that. I think the big thing that everybody's really concerned about with the GTA 6 thing is whether or not it's going to go woke. And I think there was a lot of concern with, having a female protagonist, but I doubt it. I do think there's going to be a lot of like humor and stuff that they're not going to touch. There actually is one of the fake companies that's always been in GTA, or I don't know if it's always been, but it's been in a lot of GTA games, is the fake UPS company, which is called Post Op. And the tagline for the company, it's on the vehicle. I think. Oh, I didn't want to screenshot. Hold on. See if I can't pull it up. It's on Warstock. It is the Post Op van. On the side of the Post Op van, it actually has the motto, and it's funny, but it's not going to fly today. I don't know. Actually, now that Trump is president, there's a big pushback against it. There may be. Where is the Post Op van? Did I pass it? No, it's right here. Oh, your package is safe in our hands. I think the other one was we're not just mail anymore. I don't know if that's gonna fly, but I think like jokes like that are gonna are going to go. And there's also a lot of like humor of like making things like, oh, you're gay. I think that stuff is going to go. Which it seems as though like that's was already kind of on the outs even before GTA 5 came out, but it was still in there anyway. I don't think anybody was, I don't think anybody was like offended by it yet. I think stuff like that's going to go. But I still think they're going to kind of push the envelope in terms of humor because that's just always been Grand Theft Auto. To be a little edgy. Just a little. Yeah, I don't think it's going to get delayed again. I think, and the other big thing is the price. Rockstar has been teasing the fact that they think that they might have to sell the game at $100 to push the industry to start selling games that price, which adjusted to inflation, that seems about right. If games were like $70 in 2000, what was it, 2013, games were still like 60, $70. That's about right. $100 was about right with all the inflation we just had. And not only that, but like in 92, I paid like, I think like $70, $80 somewhere in there for Mortal Kombat 1 for the Super Nintendo. Like games were stupid expensive back then. And that's not adjusted for inflation. Adjusted for inflation, that's like $140, $130 for a video game. Which is like, it's insane now. Yeah. See, I just really like seeing a lot of libertarians that aren't just economically illiterate. Yeah. Are they really? Look, that's every libertarian Discord server. There's a lot of insufferable people. I have insufferable people on my server, but we still let them on. Still let them talk. There's certain things I don't allow, though. And not only that, but it's a community server, so I have to be kind of vigilant about a lot of content. But still, like, I still get people that ask me, like, hey, like, hey, how come your server gets away with so much? And I think I might be a little bit grandfathered in. I think they kind of let us go because we're like one of the earliest Discord servers. Because I had a buddy who, like, right when Discord came out, almost, he was like, "We gotta go to Discord," because my server was actually originally a Skype group, and I always hated Skype, always hated it, and Discord was like, "Oh, we're kind of like TeamSpeak meets Skype." Oh wait, I'm supposed to be getting my. I always forget to do this. I'm supposed to be getting my oppressor out for this job because the oppressor makes everything so much easier, but only for this one. I keep forgetting to do that, and I always almost go all the way over. Yeah, but like, so I think we kind of get overlooked just because like we've been around for so long. So they're like, oh, they can't be terrible. We've been around forever. And I don't think we've ever had any kind of issues with stuff posted on our servers, so I don't know. Maybe just let it slide. But I have been kind of like, yeah, let's fucking calm that shit down. I think it's mostly because I kind of grew up in the 90s, 80s and 90s where what's wrong with my brain today? So we kind of stereotypical humor of things is always funny. Busting on stereotypes, and we're equal opportunity offenders. Yeah, I don't know. People buy $100 games now. They just don't come out as $100. They go, this is a $60 game, but if you want all the cool shit, you're gonna have to pay for this DLC. You're gonna pay for this DLC. I think that's where a lot of people will buy it. And I think Grand Theft Auto is gonna be, or Grand Theft Auto 6 is pretty ambitious. The stuff that we've known about it now, like how a lot of the like, they're actually like adding proper stealth stuff in the game. And you're gonna see like how bad the stealth is in this game, which this game is not supposed to be like a stealth game. This game is supposed to have a couple. Why do I keep pulling that out? That's what she said, right? God damn it! What is wrong? Come on, take a picture.
Send me the photograph and I can cross-reference. Just what I needed. This will only take a moment.
Yeah, there's like they're actually installing like proper like stealth, elements to the game where you have to like you can actually pick up bodies and hide them and stuff. That's it's gonna be pretty ambitious, and not only that, but the stuff that we're seeing with the trailers and stuff, it's fucking gorgeous. It's a gorgeous looking game, and the characters have butts now. The girls have butts, actual butts. It's amazing. NAP was always trash. Here's the thing: like the NAP as as a rule of thumb, I think is fine. As an axiom, that's where I have issues with it. But I did a whole video about it. Which, by the way, a funny story behind that is I actually wanted to do that video years prior, and a buddy of mine was like, wait a while. Because I had just started getting noticed, because like my channel was always small. It's still small. I kind of like it small. It's small, but it's fierce. And I've always had the habit of like pushing people away. Like once I start getting really popular, I'll start doing things like, oh God, I gotta say something that's gonna offend all these like idiots that just followed me. Anytime I get a spike in viewership and I'm starting to see stupid shit in my comments, I'm like, I gotta offend these people. And the NAP video came from the fact that I wanted to alienate all these people who were like, oh yeah, NAP. I had like a lot of annoying nappy people in my comment section. I was like, okay, time to make the NAP video. But I wanted to do it earlier, and everybody was telling me like, wait, just wait a while. Just wait a while, because it was just when the whole Molyneux thing started happening. And I was starting to get a lot of stupid comments, and I just wanted to like, oh, I want to brush these people off, and everyone was like, wait, wait till the next spike comes and then do it. And that's when I did it. I was like, okay, I'll wait. I'll still talk about it, but I'll wait. It will never be complete, but that's every system really. Yeah, like the way human interactions work is so complex. Like the human mind is very complex, and so when they interact with other things, it's going to be very complex. You can't just boil. Oh, you just can't boil like all human interactions down to a 10-word sentence. I always like to say 14-word sentence, but because it's funny. kind of, but then people started being like, oh, like is that like a dig on like? I'm like, well, are you saying that like libertarians are Nazis? And I'm like, no, that's okay. You're taking the joke the wrong way. It's kind of supposed to be equating that 14-word sentence to that other 14-word sentence and kind of making fun of both. But then everybody was like, oh, yeah. Anyways, yeah, you just can't boil down like all of human interactions to say whether or not something is good or bad. When everything is so weird. By just like just one sentence, you can't boil it down. It has to be a little bit complex. Not only that, but you also have Hume and everything, Hume's law and everything. Just yeah, I try to get people on the Mentis Wave server who have more intelligent view politics. The left-right labels, yeah. I really don't like the whole like distinction between left and right libertarians. I mean, there is a distinction, but you can't really boil it. I think there's like it's like so complex. There's like what kind of right libertarian? Are we talking about like paleocons? Are we talking about like Hoppians? Or was the Venn diagram? Yeah. Generally speaking, you can kind of be in like, oh yeah, the right libertarians kind of have issues with this. It's generally true. So yeah, turn a phrase maybe left or right, but like if I want to be very specific, like these are the issues that I'm having with the Hoppians or the pseudo Hoppians, because as a lot of people have pointed out, like most Hoppians have never read Hoppe. They only know Hoppa through like memes. Absolutely true. It's even more true for Sterner. Like if you go into like egoist groups on Facebook or Reddit or Twitter, like it's amazing like how little they know about Sterner. They will like with the little icon, like with their little profile picture as like with the anarchist, the anarcho-communist symbol, and it says like property is theft. We'll tell you with the straight face like, oh, you're an anarcho-capitalist, nice spooks nerd, and it's like, buddy, buddy, look in the mirror, look in the digital mirror, and know that Sterner would also think what you're saying is stupid too. You're a fucking idiot. Yeah, but yeah, most Hoppians get their Hoppa through memes, or through like those little like taken out of context quotes about like physical removal. I think my favorite example was Cantwell. Cantwell was, I only know Hoppa through memes. It's also his understanding of the NAP was also really bad. I remember there was some issue where like he wrote this article about why it's okay to kill mailmen or whatever, or cops. And then when people were like, "Hey, you probably shouldn't be saying that stuff. That's like Fed posting. It's going to get us in trouble. It's going to get people that follow you in trouble who like take it seriously." And he was like, "I don't think anything I said violates a non-aggression principle." It's like, that's not the point. That's not the point we're trying to bring up. Like, it may not. That's fine. Oh shit. That's not the point. The point is, it's not a good look. It's bad optics. But trying to explain bad optics to Cantwell is just you're wasting your time. Okay, so are you trying to say that like the whole left-right dichotomy and libertarianism, like, well, they must be good, or things that they're saying is good, or things that they must be saying are right because they're a right libertarian, and obviously this left libertarian can't have any like important, useful information because he's a leftist. That's what you're saying. Absolutely. There's still a couple of like left libertarians that I have a lot of respect for. I may not listen to them a lot, and I have a lot of disagreements with, but I think a lot of their information is very useful. I think the biggest one I can think of is Brian Sovereign, which Brian Sovereign would not call himself a libertarian, just because he really dislikes a lot of like self-described libertarians, which I mean I do too, but. But he's definitely of like the C4SS type.
You are approaching it now. Watch out. This place will also have CCTV.
The left can be very good at knowing how to get away with shit. Digital safety and security, like they're pretty good about that. A lot of them are. Probably not anymore though. I think right now they're trying to be like, they're in a constant contest of who can be the most libbed out. But I know for a while, like if you wanted security advice, like ask an ANCOM. They would definitely help you out. Yeah, now it just seems to be like a contest of who could be like the most libbed out. Who can have the most social media credit by attaching different labels and pronouns. I don't know. The whole like the far left and far right thing, like it's not very useful anymore to me. Like if someone tells me like someone's like far left or far right, like I don't know what that means anymore unless I know the person I'm talking to and I have a very good understanding of like where they stand on things. Because then I'm just like, what's far right from you? Because that's usually what they mean. It's like they're far right for me. So I'll constantly get called far right by people who are like very, very far left, and it's like, like, what does that even mean? Like, are you accusing me of being like some kind of Nazi or something like that? Like, I don't know what that means. I really don't know what that means. But if I know you, then I'm like, okay, I know what you mean by that. You know, you think anything left of Mao or right of Mao is far right. So it's not very useful. It's not very useful. But yeah, if some rando on Twitter, unless I check their profile and see what they've been posting and retweeting, like calls someone far right, I'm gonna be like, that's not helpful to me. Unless they kind of qualify, like, oh yeah, they're like far right, you know, because they're really into like Nick Fuentes and stuff. I'm like, okay, I know what that means now. I know what that means now that you qualified it a bit. Yeah. Well, look, hating other libertarians is a prerequisite of being a libertarian, right? I know what you mean, but that's always. But yeah, libertarians really kind of annoy me, and I think the libertarians that annoy me the most are the ones that will constantly choose the worst of all options, only because the perfect option is not on the table. And I think Milton Friedman kind of had a kind of good, and it's like weird because you'll see like a lot of Ostros like bash on Milton Friedman and be like, oh, he was pro Federal Reserve, he's pro central banking, and it's like okay, well, why do you believe that? And it's like, well, he said that and free to choose that the Federal Reserve should have like this kind of policy, and that would be the best. And it's like, well, okay, yeah, he did say that. But you have to understand where Milton Friedman has always been, and how he's always talked about these things is, I don't want a Federal Reserve. But not having the Federal Reserve is not an option on the table right now. So if we're going to have a Federal Reserve, we can't get rid of it. Maybe we could have this policy and it'd be a little bit better. Because he's always trying to find something closer to what he actually wants. And it's always good to choose the better of the options available than not going like, well, I'm not going to take any options because, it still violates the non-aggression principle. It's like, yeah, okay, but the other alternative is more of that. And that is what you're choosing. If you can offer like a better option, that's going to be better than the alternative. And it's like all these people are like, well, you voted for Trump and we can blame you for everything. It's like, okay, we can blame you for everything, but you have to remember, again, the option was that or Kamala Harris, who has a long history of being worse on everything to Bernie Sanders. She's worse. She was always worse. Like even when they did a policy analysis when she ran in 2020, like they calculated her budget of all the Democratic nominees. John Stossel did. And the worst one was Kamala Harris. Like, it was Kamala Harris and then Elizabeth Warren and then Bernie Sanders, which Bernie Sanders had always been like, oh, I'm Democratic Socialist. Like, yeah, but if you calculated what her policies would add to the federal deficit, it was like the worst. And the options on the table was not Chase Oliver. It was not Anarchy Land. The option on the table was Kamala or Trump. Sorry, that's what it was. And objectively, Trump was a better option. Now, I think the only reasonable, compelling argument someone could make was, yeah, the system that we have right now is probably the best in terms of like civil liberties and stuff like that. And if Trump is going to try to undermine that by overthrowing the election. Like, okay, yeah, if you accept that that was even possible, I don't doubt that he was trying to do some underhanded shit. I don't think he had anything to do with the riots. I think what he was doing was more along the lines of trying to do like the electors, certify like bogus electors. But that wouldn't have worked. It would not have worked. So I really I don't think any of his schemes to overthrow the election were going to work. So I'm not concerned. And he's always running. Every time he was, well, not every time, but a lot of times where he was running and doing rallies and stuff, he was always saying like, "This is going to be the last year I do rallies, and this is the last time I'll ever do a rally. This is the last time I'll ever run for president." Then again, he also said this was the last time I'll do a rally. And then he started doing rallies as president. But the rallies weren't like, we should keep me in charge forever. It was more, look how great I'm doing. It's only been 5 days. And I'm the best. Yeah, that sort of shit. Which he did that last time too. Come on. Line them heads up. Thank you. I don't need to do this stealth, but I kind of like. But you can kind of see how bad the stealth is in this game. So for an improvement like this, it's pretty ambitious to add that on top of all the stuff that GTA is doing. Check. Far right generally means far right, cultural, politics, mainstream political culture, communist or retard. I can't say that word. I don't think I could say that word on YouTube. They're redacted. They consider anything left. Yeah. Yep. I agree. Democracy is a god that failed. NAP is a god that failed. Yeah. So yeah, like I think that like a lot of libertarians don't act even in their daily lives according to the non-aggression principle in practice. And it's the one that not Milton, but David Friedman constantly brings up about the flagpole. If you don't know it, it's if you were, let's say that you were on the 10th floor of you're in your apartment on the 10th floor of your apartment complex, and somehow you managed to fall off. But luckily for you, the guy on the 9th floor had a flagpole that you landed on and was able to break, and you were able to catch. And as you're climbing into the window of the apartment complex, the guy who owns the flagpole comes out and says, "I do not consent for you to touch my flagpole or enter my property." Like, do you comply? Will you let go? Now, a lot of people will be like, well, you can't like force someone to die. And it's like, okay, well then you're just making a case for easements. Making a case for like things like easement, like forced easements, and what is the other one? Eminent domain. It's like, well, but we have to do this thing for the sake of public good. Like, we can't just force it. People could die. You could make that exact same argument for all that stuff, which I don't think they will. I think they're just trying to figure out some sort of loophole that allow them to violate other people's property without their consent. Hey, it's their flagpole. They can make their rules, right? It's their property. I think people are. I think freedom is a very important thing to do, but I do think that I'm going to be like, no, I'll break your nap. I'm fine with breaking your nap. I don't want to. I'm not going to kill myself, for this. But any damage I do, and I'll give you a couple $100 just to whatever, to make you happy because you're being an asshole. finale time. Yeah. So I think the non-aggression principle is a good rule of thumb. Like that's kind of how the direction. That's kind of the first thing I think about when I think about something. But then I'm like, okay, what other problems will that introduce?
Nice run, Charlie.
And I do think that if the costs are great enough,
You have done this so often, you hardly need me.
so if the outcome is great enough and the costs are low enough, I think that's a good. It could be a good trade-off. I'm perfectly fine at going into someone's office place, stealing a paperclip off someone's desk, to use to MacGyver a bomb diffuser. Oh, don't beach it. There we go.
As we say in Russia, day is for the hunted.
Okay, the money's over there, so we're not even going to bother going over there. We're going to come on over here.
Some advice. When dealing with paranoid drug lords, expect CCTV.
Defuse a bomb that's going to wipe out an entire city. Then yeah, I'll steal your paperclip. I think that's a fine trade-off, and I think most people will be okay with it. I'm also fine with stealing. We're not stealing, but using a gun that someone explicitly told me not to touch in order to stop a mass shooter. Little things like that would definitely break the non-aggression principle. But as a rule of thumb, this kind of seems like a good idea. It's kind of a good kind of like thing to follow, you know. Don't take people's stuff. Don't hit people. Don't take people's stuff. Oh, come on. What are you doing? It's fucking. This is one thing I hope they fix in GTA 6. Some of these janky ass controls.
In Russia, we bring friends, and our friends bring bags. More bags, more money in bags. Perhaps next time, yes?
All right, let's get that Coca-Cola. Speaking of which.
By the way, you will always have room in your bag for main objective. I have crafted special compartment for us.
I do have principles. Don't get me wrong. I don't think the NAP is practical 100% of the time. It's practical 99.99% of the time.
As my uncle would say, you kill the moose, you
And
carry
I
it
don't
home.
think it's possible to have some sort of objective morality. What you can do is you can have like ethical rules that if everybody follows, everyone's going to be better off. Oh, that's right. I need to get the stuff at the bottom. Too busy talking waxing philosophical to steal someone's cocaine. I think we're deep enough into the stream. I could say that word now. Yeah, I don't think you can justify. There's no like graviton particle that says you can't. That says that this book is owned by me and no one should touch it unless I give them explicit permission to do so. There's nothing like that. That's not a thing that it really exists.
In a way, I admire Mr. Rubio. We steal from him, and he restocks the
And I
cupboard
think that
with
if you
toys.
built like an AP system, aside from like weird things like, photons crossing people's property lines, that you're not going to have a big issue with if you built it. I think if reasonable people built an NAP system, that's somewhere I'd want to live. I just don't think that they're gonna follow the NAP correctly. I mean, accurately. Correctly, yes. You should ignore things like, oh, your photons shot across my yard without my permission. I get to kill you, right? It's not going to be like that stupid. But if we're gonna talk philosophy, and we're gonna say that it's true all the time and no exceptions, and then we have to be like, wait a minute, those are exceptions.
Defeating this man's fault, huh? Mr. Rubio is one man international black market, and we are his financial crisis.
And the other thing that really annoys me is like the people who think that like that's the only thing you have to judge people's actions by. It's like, okay, sure, it may not violate the non-aggression principle, but it's still an asshole thing to do, right? Like if I go into a biker bar and I start calling people the F word, uh, with two G's, right? That doesn't violate the non-aggression principle, but you should expect to get punched. You really should. You probably shouldn't do that. It's probably not a wise idea to do something like that. It's also probably not a wise idea to go into a libertarian establishment where they're, pressing for good ideas and doing great work, and then saying like, "All right, guys, let's do some Fed posting. We should totally kill cops. We should totally kill mailmen because they're stealing." It's like, bro, don't be stupid. It's wrong for you to say that. It may not be morally wrong. We can judge things by different standards. Okay, calm down. Like hypothetically, a society that refuses to wage war, even defensively, or prepare for it, just because it's anti-war, is a world where most every nation is at war. It's just kind of bound to collapse. Yeah, that's true. I'm not a pacifist in that sense. I know that Bob Murphy calls himself a pacifist, but it seems as though like he just still thinks it's okay to defend yourself from things. So I don't know if it's a different type of pacifism, but I don't know. Never bothered to look into it. Didn't seem like an interesting discussion to me. It just kind of seems like, okay, now we're just debating semantics of some kind. Maybe there's some kind of subset of pacifism that allows you to defend yourself. I don't know.
Mr. Rubio's personal bodyguards, they patrol this area. They will know every soldier on the island. Them you cannot fool, no matter what you are wearing.
But I do think there is one objection to anarcho-capitalism that libertarians should take seriously and not hand wave away, and that is national defense. I think there's legitimate good answers to it. They may not work out in reality. I think they're solvable. I don't think it's terrible, but it's definitely something that libertarians should tackle with. Like if you look at nations that have like legal healthcare or legal they all have legal healthcare, socialized healthcare. Hold on, I got to do this. I got to do a lot of counting, so it's not gonna be.
You just have to cycle through them to match them up to the target print.
Oh, this one I can just okay.
My former employees have learned the price of repeated sloppiness. It really sucks for them. Don't make the same mistakes.
But yeah, if you look at those countries that brag about like, oh, America doesn't have socialized healthcare and like we use our money to do that, it's like, yeah, but you're also not spending like copious amounts of money and defending every trade route around the world like America does. Which that's something that the ANCAP is going to have to do, especially if it wants to trade. So it needs to protect its trade routes. That's going to cost money. You got to figure out how to fund that. Which I do think that tying defense to security contracts, which everybody's going to need, is a good way of doing that. Oh, and adjudication, just tie a bundle of those services together. I think Rothbard had a good answer for it, but yeah. Maybe not perfect, but good enough. All right, so this Juggernaut, he's walking that way. So if I go over here now, I can make it. Get up, get up, get up. Run. Oh, shit. That was risky, but it worked. That was risky, but it worked. I like doing the compound without killing anybody. I've been having this issue lately where, well, what I would do is there's be like 3 people I'd kill. I'd kill the guard at the front when I first come in. I'd kill the guard that goes in that little cubby. I'd 5 kills. I'd kill the guy that was looking away. when I went around the corner, then the guard that came around that I had to wait for, I'd kill all of those, hoping that one of them would drop gate keys, which one of them usually do. Sometimes they don't, and I have to start it over. But they started figuring out, or they started finding the bodies of one of them, and I don't know which one. I tried like eliminating a few of them, but somehow they still seem to see one, so I don't know which one they're seeing. And it's when the other guards come on. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna do the no kill version. Just do a couple of more fingerprint hacking. Fuck it. That's not that much time that I'm saving.
This time I think you may have broken him.
Let's get this Cayo Perico done. This is a garbage. This has been giving me nothing but garbage. And I let it sit all day, pretty much. I did it this morning. I did the Cayo Perico this morning, and then I let it sit. And the more hours you let it sit, the higher chance you're going to get of something that's not tequila. And still, I get tequila. There's even one where I let it go for like 3 days. Didn't touch it for 3 days. I was working, coming home, going to sleep, waking up, getting ready to go to work, come home from work, sleep. Didn't touch it for like 3 days. Still came back to tequila. Like, I hate you. Yeah, I'm just barely making $1 million. Just barely making it. It's killing me, man. It's killing me. If I had a pink diamond and some Coca-Cola, man, I could have probably got 1.6 million, but nope, 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 nope. Nope, nope, nope. I could go sell my cars. Because now that I know the salvage yard is not going to be double money this week, so I'll clear them out. Yeah. Yeah, that's been bugging me. So, like, the other thing that was kind of bugging me recently was the Trump deportation stuff, and everybody kind of losing their shit about it. Libertarians specifically losing their shit about it. Like, oh, we shouldn't be deporting them. And it's like, okay, well, here's the options that are on the table. And I always try to point this out. Like, there's options on the table. Sure, the ideal situation is having an open border, getting rid of the welfare state, so you don't have the carrot on the stick for bad actors to come in here and like exploit everything. And then you have like mayors or not mayors, but you would have people who were in charge of things who would actually enforce laws and make sure that criminals don't, have to pay for the things that they do and damage. Like, that's the ideal world. I agree, 100%. Let's go. Let's fucking go. But the option on the table right now is not Ancapistan. The option on the table is Kamala or Trump, and Democrats in your local and city councilmen, or Republicans in your local and city, maybe libertarians on, you know, maybe not as mayor. Well, maybe a mayor, but they're definitely going to be not that. Maybe like your city councilman, your local city councilman. Wait, I'm in a public lobby now, aren't I? Yeah. Oh, so this is actually a good server. I wonder if I can sell my asset. That probably might be a better idea. Let's do that. Let's do that. And hopefully it'll give me a good mission. It's been making me do a lot of like the little paper route one, which I hate, where you have to throw it in like a little basket. Like you're a paper boy. I hate it. Yeah, so the options on the table is you can either have Trump, and you can still have all these Democratic mayors that you're not going to vote out because you live in a big city, right? But you're going to have Trump deporting and putting at the top of the list people who are actually violent criminals, people who were committing grape, people who are committing killings, uh, sex traffickers. People are putting like fentanyl and you know, and marijuana and killing people, which happened to my friend. Rest in peace, Lee. You can have him taking care of those people, kicking them out, or the option is not kicking them out and letting all these Democratic mayors slapping them on the wrist when they you know grape a child, and then just letting them back out on the street because it's a sanctuary city. Those are the options right now. I'm sorry. Back to Colombia. Now, if it was just like they were just going around and rounding up people who deliver strawberries, you know, to my grocery store, that'd be bad. But no, he seems to be actually prioritizing actual bad people. All right, give me a good delivery mission, please. Please, 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 please. This one's not terrible. Okay. Yeah, this is not the terrible one. Let's go into Ghost Org so no one tries to mess with me, and we're good. Yeah, and like anyone's like, don't you think that it's better that they're doing this versus, you know, what we were having? And their answer is like, we should just make them pay restitution if they're committing crimes against people. And it's like, okay, yeah, we know that, but that's not an option on the table, okay? You know, restitution for criminal acts, like it's not a very common thing yet. It's very rare circumstances where they do that, right? Or at least for like murder, right? You're not going to pay restitution to the family unless they get you in civil court. But that's right. That's not an option on the table. The options on the table is, you know, let murderers murder. You know, because, you know, they're just Aladdin, you know, murdering people to feed their starving families, or, you know, getting them out of here. I'm just kind of happy that everybody's kind of over the Aladdin shit. The Aladdin stuff is so stupid. Like, oh yeah, they're just stealing like $1,000 worth of Air Jordans to feed their family. It's like, you need to stop. It's time to stop. All right, guys, I'm gonna go to where a bunch of people are. And hopefully I don't get griffed by griffers. This one, oh, come on. This one doesn't have a cop. I know that for sure. It did scare me a bit because I did hear the cop sirens. That they're after someone else, so we're good. So if you every time you go to one of these little stops, there's always one stop where a cop can't see you, and the other two a cop can't see you. There's usually a cop standing there, or a cop car parked by it. And if you plant the LSD next to the cop, plant the cop next to the LSD next to a cop, then the cops will start chasing you, and you have to shake the cops before you can make the next delivery. Or, and this one I never remember which one's which. I don't see a cop around. Oh boy, where is the cop? I forget this one. Damn it. This one is going to have a cop, I know it. I don't see a cop car, though. Oh, we good. Sweet. Where's the next one? Let's go here first. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Haha. Damn, scared the shit out of me. Oh, why'd you put me way the fuck over here? Oh, he's gone. You see me jump, though? It scared the shit out of me. All right, let's go. He's gone now, I think. Right? Nope, he's coming back. God. This guy's being an asshole. I didn't even kill you last time. Damn it. I thought I was going to be free of griefers, but no. Let's call Lester. Lester.
If it isn't my creepy silent friend, how can I help?
Get me off the
I can get
radar.
scrambled for a minute.
Oh, boy. It seemed like this didn't have any griefers in it, but I guess I was wrong. Let's try to get some work done. This dude just wanted to save face after he embarrassed himself. Should bribe the authorities. I think I'm gonna get griefed again, though. It's gonna be the big map. Yeah, I don't see him around, so I think we might be good. He was a big orange skull and crossbones. Adrenaline's actually going. Ooh. I think it was this one. The cop doesn't see me. Oh, it doesn't matter. I still have the bribe authorities thing on anyway. All right, we good. Just got to get out of here. Oh, damn, I cleared that. Wasn't sure if I would. deposit my money before this dude decides he wants to hire a mugger.
The customer had a blast. Thankfully, they weren't too fucked up to send us the money. Good work.
Woo! Oh, why'd you put it way over there? Run, 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 run. Oh, the griefer dude's back. I don't think this dude can see me. Yeah. Let's blow this dude up for blowing me up. Bitch. Oh, and I got paid for it. Nice. He had a bounty on him. Nice. Nice. That's what you get. That's what you get, bitch. Yeah, I don't think he even has access to his thing now. Is that him? Nice. I'm gonna go to my garment factory and then I'm gonna wrap this stream up. Where's my garment factory at? Oh. Too far south, that's why. All right, guys. I'm gonna head out. I'll probably hop on Discord. Talk to you guys later. Worms.